check. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Step into the Portal. My name is the Brant, and welcome. We are going to start the Age of Apocalypse campaign today. Yes, I see Nick is there in the chat, and I forgot that my thing doesn't say the Brant will be right back. It says Nick and Brant will return to butt kicking shortly, so there's that. Yeah, if you could check audio for me, it looks like Nick did, so thank you. Let me know about video too. It looks to me like I'm out of sync, like it's a couple seconds behind. I mean, YouTube is always a couple seconds behind, but my camera also seems to be a few seconds behind, so let me know if it looks weird or otherwise, and whatnot. So, we are going to get started. We're going to take Bishop and Magik through the campaign is the plan here to do today. We're going to do this, so I think it says part 1. Looks fine. Perfect, thank you. Yeah, so we're going to take the two of them through. My goal right now is to get through the first two. So we're going to try Unus and the Four Horsemen, as well as the setup for all the things, explaining how missions work, reading through the book, kind of looking at Standard 3, all those kind of things. So that takes a little bit longer, and then hopefully I can do one with either 2 more or the final 3, depending on how long it takes me. I am going to adjust the pre-con decks. I have played the entire campaign. I have beat the entire campaign. I'm going to replay it again, but I want to make sure I had most of the rules down. I feel pretty good on that front, but I did change the pre-con decks. They play fine. You can beat things. I think the third scenario is the toughest, so I think that currently was the hardest one for me to get through, and so once I changed the decks, I found it to be a lot easier. I tried to keep the flavor of the decks. I didn't take any card out. I just took multiples of cards out and replaced them with other cards. And like I said, tried to keep mostly the same flavor with maybe 2 exceptions that I could think of. So here we go. Without further ado, thanks for joining us, everybody. If you are here or possibly watching later, hey, we do have people, so thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I still see a quick delay on that, so I may be talking about cards, and as I'm holding them up, it might be slightly behind that. Don't know where that's coming from. Haven't had that before, as well as the glare that I have on the cards here that you can see, so you can let me know. Maybe some of these cards would benefit from being the other way, then. They won't have as much glare, so go with that. All right. So, here is our setup for our campaign. We've got Bishop, we've got Magik. We'll go through there first. So, out of Magik's deck, I took 2 clobbers. Ooh, I took 1 clobber. I took 2 full body charges, 2 blood rages, 2 test of defense, and a basic spell. This is probably the trickiest one that I probably shouldn't have taken. These other ones, I actually found myself playing this full body charge almost every time it comes up, so that's a better card than I gave it. Clobber's awesome off the top of her deck, so none of these cards are inherently bad. 2 blood rages and 2 tested defenses were a little much for me. I replaced it with Sorcerer Supreme. She doesn't have double resources. I really like to play high-cost cards, so I put the double resources in. 2 into the fray, so we could deal with those minions and remove some threat. Magic Attack, because she can play that being a Mystic, and Wolverine just to get an ally with some damage out on the table. So those are in her deck. Over here with Bishop, he's a little trickier. Obviously, people really want to build around this sidekick card, and this really builds around it. But I had to pull a lot of that stuff. I just found it wasn't happening very often. And with the missions thing, it becomes trickier, so I think I will make sure I play a sidekick deck. I'm very excited to make Captain Marvel's Spider-Woman's sidekick, so that will be happening soon. Hey, Adam. Thanks for joining here. So, I took 2 side-by-sides, 2 lead from the fronts, 2 team trainings, 2 suit-ups, and 2 advanced suits out of the deck, so it's just the 2s of all those. I added an Endurance, Beast, 3 Danger Room trainings, Avengers Mansion, 2 Power in All of Us, and then here's where I probably went flavorless. People won't be super happy with me, but I put Lockjaw and Nick Fury. So Nick Fury is just so good for him to be able to draw more cards out of having a lot of resources, and Lockjaw the same, can come from the discard pile, as well as Lockjaw is phenomenal at completing these side missions. So there's the 2 where I think I lost some theme in what I was doing. How is the video for everybody? I'm feeling like my audio and my video are not synced up, although I am here, but then you see I wave a second after that. I don't know where that's coming from, so I don't know how to fix that. So this is how it is. For the event in a couple weeks, should I bring my collection? I would say no. I mean, just bring what you're going to play for that day. you know, whatever you need. Cool, no problem on Iron. You know, 4 to 6 heroes to play for a day, maybe more than that. I have a video on my channel about going to Con of Heroes. I would highly suggest viewing that again. I was talking to Nelson about making another video with him for Con of Heroes that I thought could help. I don't know that we'll get that done before the event here, but no, I don't think you need to bring that many. All right, cool. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. And I see it's a little dark here. I turned my light to face that way. Weirdly enough, my face is nice and bright, but the cards were so bright, so the light is actually going the other way. So I know it's a little bit dark here, but I will try to read everything to you because my camera is not great. And life goes on, so we're just shuffling up here. All right, so the first villain is going to be Unus. I will read the comic and everything to you. And I meant to sort these tokens, but unfortunately, I forgot to get to it. Like I said, my plan is to do the first two, so we're just going to make that a nice, messy pile right there. Everybody's favorite thing about my channel, for sure. All right, that should be a card. That's a card somebody has to make. The messy pile of old tokens. Quick new thing here. New rules. Find. When you're instructed to find a card, search each area where the card could be found. Play area, set aside area, player deck, discard pile, and counter deck, etc. Players should not unnecessarily search game areas if they know where the card they're looking for can be found. Do not look at face down encounter cards. So that's important. We also have standard 3 encounter set, which is in here. Teamwork has been updated to now just be the character that comes out activates. Also, permanent and setup are going to be really important because we have permanent and setup in like most of these scenarios, even when they don't tell you, so watch out for it. The campaign mode, we have a campaign log. I'm going to just track it by keeping things. I'm going to leave everything up here till I get through this scenario, so we'll be good on that front. Side missions are a big new part. I'm going to explain those as I get to them. Talking about mission attempts, they did a great job giving you a card here that explains everything you need to know about that. Boy, I wish I had a little bit more light. And away we go to the comic. All right, so we see them stepping through the portal. That was the end of Next Evolution. The Xavier Institute. This is wrong. Something must have happened during our time jump, says Cable. Oh no, says Jean Grey. It shows Charles Xavier. That's his gravestone. I can't believe it. We'll find who did this. This is Psylocke, and this is X-23 with Angel here. And then it says, no need for that, Renegade. We found you. Death to the enemies of Apocalypse. And this is Unus and his army of Infinites. So we have to fight them. So here we go for Unus. X-Force traveled to the future to rescue Hope Summers from strife, but something happened while they were displaced in time. Now they find themselves trapped in an alternate timeline ruled by the genocidal Apocalypse, and they are under attack from one of his prelates, Unus. So here we go, and these are all going to have different ones. So we need Infinites, Dystopian Nightmare, and Standard set. We're going to use Standard 3. We have Infinite and the other one in here. One of the keys is that gene pool is going to be set up, so make sure that you don't miss that. Here is Unus, and we need a dial for Unus. We're going to use these handy-dandy Gamegenic dials when we play. So he is at 12 per player, so we're going to set him to 24. Brant's pile of tokens. Big video has tiny delay. Yeah, I apologize. I don't know where that's coming from, so I am unsure how to fix it. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So we have the Infinites modular set, which includes the gene pool side scheme, permanent and setup, so it always begins in the game in play. So they're letting you know that because that's also going to happen in future scenarios. So make sure anything with permanent and setup you mark so you know that it comes out. What I might actually do is sleeve mine in like purple or something, and then I will know that it's always in play. So then they give us the setup constructions. We record our identity in the log. We shuffle the Age of Apocalypse modular set in. So there's a 4-card modular set here. Oh, no problem. No, I appreciate letting me know. Yeah, there's always the option if it's terrible that I could shut down and start the stream over, but it doesn't seem to be the case, so we'll go with it for now, and I'll hope it goes away. I can see that my internet speed is a little low. And when we did it the other night, it wasn't like that. So that could be part of it. And I don't know how to pick that up. So, all right. Then we'll randomly select one of the missions. So there are 5 missions. One of them you don't put in. I won't say what it is to not spoil for now. I guess you'll know when you look at the setup. But realize you only take 4 of the 5. And we shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And I guess since that one went flying out, it wants to be first. Sabotage the seawall. So this is going to be our first one here. We start on this side. After you resolve a mission attempt, we're going to place a counter here and then deal a damage to every character we have here. Go from there. So that's going to start with 10 on it. We're going to go to that one, and then we're going to follow the setup instructions. So the setup instructions for Sabotage the Seawall are going to be on the back here. And it's going to tell us shuffle the North American Seawall side scheme into the encounter deck. So I believe I have a little box here with all the extra items that we're going to need. And here is the North American Seawall. So we're going to take this side scheme and shuffle it in. Then we're going to assign an overseer. So you have these 5 prelate minions here, and the other side of them are overseers. So we're going to shuffle these. Hey, if you just listen, you won't notice, right? We're going to get Mr. Sinister. So Mr. Sinister is going to be here guarding Sabotage the Seawall, whatnot. So he comes in, he has 10 hit points. And when we assign to the mission, we can't assign the same symbols. So if we draw the same symbol, we can't assign those. So that's going to be what happens there. And we go from there. Then we get the mission team counter. This is going to give us the rules for missions. I'm going to leave that up here and go over it when we get there. And we're going to take the mission team. So this really becomes our first player counter. I'll put the first player counter on it so people can see that. And will give us some rules and things. And I'm going to flip it again. I guess I did it the wrong way. This way it should be less shiny. So that's my goal. All right. And then we're going to each search our deck for an ally and add it to our hand, which will count towards our hand size. So that is going to be what happens here. Probably was supposed to set up Unus first. So we have Unus set up. We reveal Gene Pool, Side Scheme. In Expert Mode, we'd all get an encounter card. We're going to play Standard. So this is going to come in with 4 on it. After an ally is defeated by anything other than consequential damage, place 3 threat here. So if we start chump blocking, it might be an issue. Mr. Sinister might show up in the next episode? Gotcha. Nice. Oh, hang on. I plug. Is it now plugged in? No? Yes. Okay. That was weird. All right. So we got Gene Pool. We got this. We got health. This one is all set. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 threat on Gene Pool. So that needs to go here. We also have Pursued by the Past. So here's a thing you have to help me remember. This is going to trigger when we get to 5 counters. And I struggle because the last time I played it, it's 7. So when it gets to 3 more than the number of players, so when this gets to 5 counters, I may make a mistake because I've been playing so much 4-player that I always think I'm playing 4-player. So bear with me on that. All right, so now we have these missions. So what can we do? We can take an ally, like we're going to take Colossus as our first ally. And you can read all this in the rulebook, and some of you will say, it's so much better if I read it than if you explain it to me. I am actually that way too, but this is helpful for people who are wanting to know. So what I can do is I can take an ally, and I can basically play that ally like I normally would. So Colossus is a 3-cost 2/2 with 3 health, and I can play it in front of me, or I can play it to here. And if I play it to the side mission, it's essentially out in that region. I can't interact with the card. The only thing I can do is I can put upgrades. I can put upgrades on him to change his stats and things. He also has his X-Men trait, so he counts as an X-Men there. But all the text otherwise is not relevant. What is relevant is his stats and his resource symbol. So he happens to have a wild resource symbol. So this little mission team card here is going to be like a first player token. And what I can do on my turn or actually just as an action, is I can either exhaust it and reduce the cost of the next ally played to the mission by 2. So I could make Colossus only cost 1. Or I can make a mission attempt. So if I make a mission attempt, I'm going to draw a card for every ally that's there. It's just Colossus, I draw. It has a punch resource. So I look at that punch and I try to match it up. So wild can match anything. Obviously, might matches might. And if they have a wild, I can match. So I mean, if I have a wild here, I can match it with anything. And I take the cards and I assign them until I can't assign any more. And that basically activates Colossus. Now, Mr. Sinister says I can't activate this. I can't assign the same symbol twice. So had I drawn 2 might, I wouldn't be able to assign all of those. I'd only be able to assign 1. Then what's going to happen, essentially, is this card gets discarded, and then Colossus will basically activate. So I'll take the sum of all the allies that activated, deal their damage to Mr. Sinister, which he's going to have 10 health in this case, 5 per player, and then I'm going to thwart with all of them and remove threat from here. This can't be completed until there's no minions here. Some of those Age of Apocalypse minions can also get assigned there. So I have to defeat Mr. Sinister, but I can remove all the threat. And then once he's gone and there's no threat on here, that will trigger this. Now, after I do an attempt, I have to place a counter there and deal a damage to every ally that's here. And when allies take enough damage, they go away per normal. And when I get to the 4th one, I automatically fail this, flip it, and see what happens. So it has a little bit of a fail forward mechanic. You can fail and then have the item on the other side happen instead. So that's how that is going to work, and then this gets passed back and forth. When I do complete this, this card gets flipped over. I love this. Caleb and Tony and others were obviously very attuned to this. I can now exhaust this and choose a player to draw a card. So it benefits me not only for that, but also for this. This is a support, but it cannot be discarded, and it goes to the first player. So that is how missions work. I'll try to also say it when I do it. All the rules for missions are written on this card, as well as the steps are outlined in order to do what I just said, in case you're like, I don't know what he just said. And like I said, I'll try to walk through it again. All right, so we are going to take Cable, if I can find him. There he is. Is this deck 40 cards? Yep, 40. Okay. All right. I think we are set. So Unus has toughness. If the amount of threat on Gene Pool is at least 3, he has Retaliate at least 6. He has Stalwart at least 9. He has a boost icon. So we need to bring this down. We're going to get pursuit counters from the deck here, which are going to add to this and eventually trigger our nemesis and cards coming into play. So it's like a slow burn Shadow of the Past. Or you could look at it the other way. It's almost a guaranteed Shadow of the Past over time versus if you constantly miss the card or remove the card from the deck. So it plays a little bit different. Other than that, most of the things work the same. It'll add a counter and then attack you, etc., etc. So we'll see that there. All right, so Bishop starts with Cable, plus his uniform, Legion, Nick Fury, Advanced Suit, and a Power of Leadership. So that is pretty good. This will help us to play Cable. This is key. I think these other allies we don't really need, so we're going to go ahead and toss these and draw 3 more. And we get a lot of energy conversions and endurances, so we'll see how that goes. And I'll go through cards as I play them, but I'm not necessarily going to go through every card as I draw it, but we can at least talk through some of them as needed. Oh, that's interesting. It's catching back up. All right, so she's got Colossus, Basic Spell, Test Defense, Clobber, Into the Fray, and Magic Barrier. So this is a defense card. We're not going to need this. This will remove threat. This is a neat card to get down. It can deal damage, but I always say damage comes in time. Clobber is also damage, and there's no minions to deal with, so we don't need Into the Fray. So let's draw again. And we get a Power of Aggression, a Stepping Disc. There's a double resource, so now we're in pretty good shape. All right. Away we go. So, Magik. This is Ilyana Rasputin, which is Colossus's sister, I believe. She has 10 health. She's a 6 hand sizer. When you change form, change to hero form, choose a spell in your discard pile and put it on top of your deck. She's got a lot of manipulation. She's awesome, but her turns are going to be slow. Play with the top card of your deck face up when you flip to the side. She's a 1/2/2. She's a 5-hander. And then once per phase, you can play the top card of your deck as if it was in your hand, reducing its cost by 1. So the precon has no double resources in it for that reason. Because you can always put a card here and reduce it, they made it without them. I just found it frustrated me, and I went and put them in. So your mileage may vary. All right, let's see what we want to do. So we really want to get Colossus out to here, because we're going to complete the mission. The sooner we complete that, the better off we are. And then the double will go here. So I think we'll then give the cheaper one to him, so that he could get Cable out to the mission, and then put down his uniform, and maybe just hold the endurance, or hold the energy conversion, and whatnot. So there's that. I'll get to Bishop in a second. So that's going to be my plan. So I am going to flip. When I flip, I can take a spell card and put it on top. So I will put this Magic Barrier on top. I will then... Yeah, I don't have any others. Oh, I could put Basic Spell on top and try to cast it again. Would that work? So if I stay flipped down... Doesn't do much, but it can do something. So I'll play Basic Spell. Nope. I'll spend 3 to play Colossus here. So he doesn't have toughness. None of that happens. I'm going to try... There's not a lot of space. I'm going to try to put things on this side that are for her and this side that are for him. But I'm going to run low on space. Although I see I can go this way. That is one thing, is that if you play on a small table space, I think this campaign will frustrate you a little bit. Because you generally have another thing. You have this out, you have this out, you have this out. So you're going to have very little space if that is something that can bother you at times. Now I will flip up and I'll put Basic Spell on top. So that's going to work out well for me. So now I can cast Basic Spell and it only costs 1. So when I cast this, I can only play if it's a Mystic. I can heal 3 damage, remove 3 threat, or deal 3 damage. The healing has to be from an identity, can't be from an ally. So I'm going to remove 3 threat from a scheme. Let's keep this under control. Oh, by the way, this cannot be thwarted. So imagine they are working on the North American seawall, not fighting Unus, right? So this is a separate territory, and that will just help it all to make a lot more sense. So that is cast. We are all set there. I'll flip the top card up. I can't play this card because it's only once per phase. However, if it was the villain phase, I could play cards out of there. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack for 2, get rid of this tough. And then I'm going to cast Stepping Disc playing Magic Barrier. So Stepping Disc says, ready your hero, choose a magic card in your discard pile not named Stepping Disc, and put it on top. So I only have Magic Barrier, so I'm going to put that on top. Yes, I get to know that information. I know that the other card, sorry, what was it called? Soul Strike is under there, so I know that information. I don't have to change my fact that I know that information. And then I'm going to thwart Gene Pool and keep that all under control so it's not messing with us. Awesome. And then my last action is going to say the next character played here cost 2 fewer. Then we're going to go to Bishop. So Bishop is a 4 recovery, 12 damage, 12 health, 6 hand sizer with temporally displaced. Response, after you change this form, add a temporal card in your discard pile to your hand. So he has double resources, as well as his allies, as well as some of his upgrades that are temporal. Not all his cards are temporal, so just watch for that. It's not any one of his cards. It's specifically temporal cards, like this uniform. All right, we're set. So we're going to flip to this side. We're going to spend Power of Leadership, plus the 2 from here, and we're going to play Cable here. So Cable's a 4 cost, 2 thwart, 3 attack with 3 health. After he thwarts and defeats a side scheme, draw a card. That's blanked, remember. So we don't get any of that stuff. Nothing that enters play, nothing that comes in. It's all blanked. But it makes it really fun for things like Lockjaw, who doesn't take double damage and can be played from here still. It makes it great for Star-Lord, who costs 2 to be a 2/2 with 2 or 3 health. I can't remember, and you don't draw an encounter card. So suddenly, Star-Lord is back on the menu. All right. Should we hold energy conversion? I think we'll toss the endurance. Nah, it's a good permanent to have out. So we'll spend these 2. I'll get to this ability in a second. We're going to play his uniform because these go together. So he is a 2/2/1 with 12 health. He's a 5-hander. He's temporal and X-Men. Energy absorption. Response. After Bishop takes any amount of damage from an attack, so make sure it's an attack, discard an equal number of cards from the top of your deck, add each resource card discarded this way to your hand. He's going to have a lot of money. So like Black Panther, but you're going to have similar Black Panther issues of what do I do with my money? Lockjaw, Nick Fury. And then luckily he has cards that you can play resource cards to do things. So work out well. All right, well, we don't have a lot to do, so we're going to attack for 2. And then we've got the uniform down. This is where he really gets powerful. After you resolve Bishop's energy absorption ability, exhaust this and heal 1 for every resource card that you have in your hand. So that's very powerful because he could basically heal more than he takes in damage. Boy, we got none, though. So we'll have to see how this goes. We got a Suit Up, which this allows us to search our deck and discard pile for an ally and an upgrade, and then put them in our hand. Beast, who we've seen before. Randall is a 2/1, and again, he can be readied and healed with resource cards, and if it has a lightning, it heals him. Command Authority, if you pay for it with a resource card, you get to draw another card, it removes free threat. And then Endurance, which we had there. Ready him up over here. We've got a Magic Barrier, which is kind of like Nova's card. So we get all these, and then we get to flip the top card. This is always fun. So it's our Crown. We have a Soul Strike and Into the Fray, a Power of Aggression, and a Stepping Disc, which we played. Soul Strike deals 4 damage, and then if the top card of your deck is either wild or physical, then you can stun the enemy, and then Magic Barrier will prevent damage and will deal damage back if you have a wild or a lightning. So you're going to always be looking for what that top resource card is on your deck. Did I notice any temporal, basic, or aspect cards? I don't think there are any. I think they're only in his kit. But it's a great question. I don't think there's any going backward. I didn't do the search. So somebody else would have to do that search. But I think they're only the ones in his kit. Still strong. We'll see. We'll try to put it to good use and show. In addition to like playing it and beating it, I want to show off some of the things that you can do with these. I think it's an interesting part as well. So, all right. So we didn't make an attempt here because we'd have to use this to make an attempt. We just used it to play some allies cheaper. I find if you get a bunch of allies there, it works a little bit better. Kind of. You have to then draw the resources that match them. All right, we are set here. Man, the other thing I can't do is I can't put this on top of my deck because Magik has a card on top of her deck. So I always lose my hand playing Magik because I'm so used to that. All right, we add 2 threat here. Then we add 1 to Gene Pool, as this says. He's going to attack for 2. Magik is going to defend. I don't think I'll use the Magic Barrier because I can't deal the damage back. And I could just defend. So it's +2 with this Hunted. So I'm going to take 2 damage and go to 8. And he doesn't have any of these bonuses because he doesn't have enough threat on here. And then he's going to attack Bishop. And I'm just going to say, like Captain Marvel, I want you to hit me as hard as you can. All right, so it's going to be +2 for 4. And then we will trigger our energy absorption ability and discard 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get this power in all of us. Sidekick is gone. Our rifle is gone. That is temporal, so it's nice we can go and get those back. We don't have to get them out. And then we take 4. We could now either wait to see if we get attacked again, or we can use the uniform to heal for 1. Since I'm not worried, I'm not going to heal 1. Might be a big mistake, but I'm going to see if I get attacked again on a card. And then I could draw more and heal more, so we'll wait on that. All right, and then we get our encounter cards, and it's just 1 each. What a beautiful day. All right, Hunted. This is a Crisis icon. Nope, this is a Hazard icon. So I'll have to draw an extra card. I have to go to Alter Ego and discard a card from my hand, and then I can discard this card. So this is just staying out. This is Dystopian Nightmare. You'll see this set in a lot of them. It's a nice set to add to anything. Works well. Ooh, look at this. We got an Age of Apocalypse card. So either place 3 threat on the mission side scheme, or take a damage and this card gains Surge. So I take a damage, but I can't trigger my effect because it has to be from an attack. I don't want to add more over there. And then I'm going to get Targeted for Extermination. The Infinites hunt down those whom their master deems unworthy. I guess that's us. Player defeated. This scheme confuses their identity. Lots of static side schemes. They don't have hinder per player. I really like seeing that. I think it makes it a lot easier to deal with at certain player counts, whatever they might be. This will pass over here because we've completed all of those. And we're back to Bishop. All right, so we have some options with Bishop here. We could play this Command Authority and then try to draw a card, and then we could get Randall out. We could play somebody up here cheap. Again, if we play Beast up here, it's not great because he can't deal with all of that. Randall's good because he has the Wild, so that might be the way we want to go. And then do we have any allies here? We don't. We don't even have minions. So I think my plan was good. So suit up and power in all of us. And what's cool with the resource cards is you don't even have to use them effectively because so many of his cards allow you to do it. We remove 3 threat from a scheme, which will confuse us from this one here. And then since we paid for it with a resource card, we get to draw a card, which is Team Training. And then what we will do is we will exhaust Mission Team to play Randall here for 2 cheaper, which means 1, so we'll use that Team Training. Randall's now there. And then we will spend Beast to put an Endurance down here and go to 10. And then I'm just going to exhaust to get rid of my Confuse. Perfect. I'm channeling my inner Steve, sorry. Okay, so now we have this Into the Fray. We have this Soul Strike. We can play the Magic Crown if we want to. So I'm just trying to see. All right, so yeah, let's use this Magic Barrier to play the Crown for 1 less, 1 fewer, so it only costs 1. And then flip, let's see if we get, we did not get a punch because we could stun with this card if we did. So, what do we want to do here instead? I guess, now we can't play this card because we already played our 1 here. Do we need to heal? Not a ton. Alright, so we'll spend these 2 to Soul Strike. We'll deal 4 damage to an enemy. Unfortunately, we're not able to stun it, but we'll bring him down to 18. We will flip, and then we'll discard this card to get rid of Hunted so we don't have to deal with that. Great. And then this card technically would get flipped back over. Again, we know that information, but it is flipped over. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our Lockjaw. Now we've got 2 resources in hand. Look at, we got just enough to play our Avengers Mansion. So I did add that. Oh, that's a little flavorless too. Sorry. You can play some of the X-Men stuff as well, but man, if he gets card draw, I feel like it's way better. So normally I like to show off those precons, but I did it all already off camera, so I'm like, I'm ready to move on. All right, but I kept, like I said, I kept one-ofs of everything from the precons in, so you're still seeing those cards. You're just not seeing them in triplicate. All right, we got cards over here. We'll go through that later. I can put those there. Let's add 2 threat to the main. How's it going? It's going good, Heroic Skeleton. It still sounds super powerful with just get. Well, what's powerful mostly is early game you can go get the upgrades that you need, and late game. Oh gosh, this is so crooked. I'm sorry. How did that happen? Okay, which way makes this less crooked? This way. Huh, that's weird. I had it all evened out, and then I must have pushed on the table at some point. Yeah, and then late game you can just go get the double resource cards, which is really helpful. So that's how that's going to work. All right, we had 2 threat to the main. We had 1 to Gene Pool, which doesn't upgrade him here. So then he's attacking here for 2. Hit me! +3 is 5. So we're going to go down to 5. So we do have to take the hit. And we're going to discard 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. We got 2 of these stored energies, which each have a lightning and a physical on them, which is also what you need for Randall and Malcolm. Oh, I didn't mention that. So his other one is Malcolm. So this is a 2-1 that readies and heals with lightning resources on resource cards. And this is a 1-2 that readies and heals with physical resources. And then, of course, his resource cards have those 2 on them. So now we took that damage, but look at this. We got 4 cards, so we're going to heal 4 and go back to 9. It's like, ha ha ha, Unus, you are puny. That sounded too much like Hulk. All right, and then he's going to scheme over here for 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go to 7. All right, and then we get encounter cards. So this one is Nowhere is Safe. If I was playing Guardians, that would sound great. Place 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past. Then if it has any counters on it, discard an upgrade or support you control. Boo! All right, so what's key here is you're placing 1. if that one got you to 5 in this case, or 4 if you're playing solo, etc. with player counts, this card would immediately activate, and then you'd read the rest of this text and not activate. So they're trying to make it so that it doesn't compound. So you'll do this, and either you'll do the Shadow of the Passing, bring your nemesis in, or you'll do this effect. So just that's what they're going for. So you can kind of use that to help you with the rules. So I have to discard an upgrade or support. Well, I could get rid of my uniform, but I feel like that's doing a pretty good job. So we're going to get rid of endurance and go down to 6 health. And then over here we get Culling the Weak. Place 4 threat on Gene Pool. Uh-oh. So now he gets both of these effects. He's Stalwart and he has Retaliate. So that's not good. Mission team is coming over here. What do we want to do? All right, we need to thwart, huh? So this basic spell could be useful. I didn't play Tempest a lot. When the villain would scheme, discard Tempest, cancel that activation, deal yourself in a face-down encounter card. So she could keep you from losing. She's a nice one to just take a hit. So that could work out as well. So we have these Stepford Cuckoos. So this one is interesting because you can interrupt when any player reveals a treachery, cancel it, draw a new one. You get 3 of those. So it's great if you get that set up for sure. Do I need to heal? This can go to 22. I'm not super worried about that. I need to bring Gene Pool down. I need to do this. Yeah, I think healing is fine. We'll go to 10 to keep ourselves safe. Oh, here I could thwart for more, though, huh? Yeah, we'll do the opposite. We'll be at 8, and we'll be okay. We'll be able to block. So we'll flip up and see what we have. Oh, we can put a card on top of our deck. Fortunately, it's got to be a spell card. We have this Soul Strike. We could try, but he's Stalwart right now. So we'll just put another basic spell on top. Does that help us? I could put this Soul Strike on top. Actually, I think if I do that, it's going to be smarter. We'll see why. All right, so I'm going to put a Soul Strike. It has a mental resource, and then I'm going to do the mission. So I'm going to activate that. So there's 3 allies. So I discard 1, 2, 3 cards. Oh no, that was terrible. All right, so they're all mental resources, and Mr. Sinister says I can't assign the same resource. So unfortunately, 2 of these will fail. 1 of them will succeed, and then I can pick one of these people to activate. So Cable has the highest stats, so I'm going to activate Cable with that. So he's going to deal 3 damage and remove 2 threat. Ugh, that was terrible. And then I have to put a counter here, and everybody takes a damage, even the ones that didn't help with the mission. So I got 2 more attempts to get that done, which I should be able to, but that was a big swing and a miss. Mr. Sinister did his thing. I thought I was so smart by putting a mental there. There were already mentals underneath, so yikes. Ooh, I did just get an exorcism over here, though, so that's good. All right, so I'm going to use... Yes, they both live in Canada. Yep, thanks, Spartan. Yeah, when you're in Alter Ego. Yep, you got it. Sorry, I'll try to make sure I look at that chat again. She's very thinky, so when I'm on her turn and then kind of doing there too, he's not as bad. He's more like reactive, but I have to think a lot here. So, Exorcism is going to remove 4 threat from a scheme. I'm only going to pay 1 for it, so I'm going to remove 4 here so that he can't be Stalwart. And then I'm going to see what the top card of my deck is. It's physical, so I don't get to confuse the villain, but it would have been nice. There's my full body charge, but again, I can't play that. So, oh, I should have been smart too. When I had put the other one on top, I should have done this. So I missed that little window. All right, so we will then do a basic spell for 3, to remove 3 threat, rather, and get that off the main. And then... I guess we could put Tempest out. The problem is, one of these, Gene Pool, if I block, I add counters to it, but probably still worth it. So we'll play Tempest. We'll have her thwart for 1 on the Gene Pool to keep that down. And then Magik, we'll keep the damage going. 16, because now he doesn't have that. I'm not super worried about threat. So we're good here. Bishop. I got all these resources, so... let's see what we could do. So double and double are going to pay for Avenger's Mansion. So we'll get that down. We'll draw a card. Hey, it's a double. What do you know? So we'll use this Genius and Lockjaw to play Malcolm. I'm going to play him here in front of me. And then I'm going to use these two, who's a good boy, and bring Lockjaw back out with the 4. So that's... I love Lockjaw in this deck. Oh, so good. All right, I love Lockjaw in general, but here he's good. Does anyone live near Ottawa? Oh, no. Yes. I think Brian does. I don't really necessarily want to say where people live. But I think Brian does live there. All right, so we're going to thwart for 2 here with Lockjaw. He's a good boy. And he will take 2. And then Malcolm is going to punch for 2. I'm going to flip and heal with Bishop. And when I do that, I'm going to get a temporal card back from my discard pile. So these double resources are temporal. That is not... I don't think any of these other cards are. Is he temporal? No, he's inhuman. That is not. The rifle is, not the attack. Yeah, so it's not his event cards. It's really his resources and that. So we're going to put the rifle in his hand. The rifle is restricted. I can exhaust it, find an enemy, and deal a damage to them for each resource card in my hand, and it's ranged. Let me just tell you, I did an 8 damage attack on the final turn of the campaign with that card with 8 resources in my hand, and it was unbelievable. I was playing with the Digging Deeps, and I switched for this one to the others just to try to see which one I like better. So I think I had a few more resource cards in my deck, but that was awesome. All right, and we take 1 on Malcolm. By the way, Malcolm could ready if I discarded a resource card with a punch on it, with a physical, so that could be an option. All right, we're going to ready these up and draw. Both these characters go through their decks very fast, so I think playing bigger decks isn't even necessarily bad. All right, and we got this side-by-side, which is awesome with the sidekick mechanic, but we don't have that going on right now, so we'll have to see. Bishop's Rifle, we got some Danger Room training, so we can attach these up here. So if you're struggling to get allies, you can at least put these on them to give them additional hit points and additional things to do. Obviously, they need to be X-Men, so it'd have to be these two, but you can do that, which is nice. All right, we've got a Concussive Blast. So this one's nice because I can... deal 6 damage and then ready him if I pay with a resource card. But unfortunately, I don't have any resource cards. All right, over here, she gets the top card plus 4 more. And on top is the Blood Gem. She's got her sword. Oh, we got Limbo. So this card's really cool. This really makes her a complete. This is how you complete her kit, in my mind. After the villain phase begins, you can exhaust this and swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. Or you could just exhaust it as an action and swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. So suddenly you could stack the top of your deck, make a card 1 cheaper, or give it the resource that you're looking for. Phenomenal. This is the card that makes Magic all come together, and you're like, ah, this is beautiful. So, excuse me. There we go. All right, adding 2 thwart. 2 threat, excuse me. 1 to Gene Pool. A little bit fiddlier with all these things, but it's not too bad. Attacking here, Magic's just going to block. So 2 plus. Either place 2 threat on Gene Pool, or the enemy gets +2 attack. So that just gives him Retaliate. We will place the 2 threat there. I'm going to regret that. All right, and then over here, he's going to scheme for 1. +1 is 2, and this is going to go to 6, and we are fine there. And then we get our cards. Infinite Prelate. So when revealed, Unus activates against you. If the amount of threat is 3, give him a tough status card. Wow, he could also have healed 3 damage and gotten an additional boost. So he's going to attack for 2. Do we want to block here? I think I'm okay. 2 plus 2 is 4, and that is going to bring me down to 4 health. A little low. All right, and then over here, War Weary, I am stunned. If I were already stunned, I would take 2 damage instead. And that is from the Dystopian Nightmare as well. Okay, so far so good. We're going to pass this over here. See if we can do a better job with Bishop. So let's go ahead and do our mission. See what happens with our 3 cards. We got Mental, Wild, and 2 physical. So that's great because we can assign these. How does it actually work? I think you pick... Yeah, I think you assign one. So you can't assign each resource icon, but if it did have a split, you could choose which one you were assigning where based on what these say. But these can also hurt you because some of the characters heal or put more threat on based on those. So, all right, so we can assign this one to Cable, we can assign this one to Randall, and we can assign this one to Colossus. We didn't break Mr. Sinister's rules, if you will. So we deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. So that's going to get him to 9. And then we're going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threat and bring this down to 2. Then we place a counter here, and everybody takes a damage. And these get discarded. There we go. All right. So we did that. That's almost complete. One more. We should be good. We just need Randall to activate. So no matter what we draw, we should be okay because he can finish him off. But things could happen from the deck, so maybe we shouldn't say anything. All right, we have a card draw here. We might want that for somebody. So let's see. We've got Lockjaw who could go and come back. Excuse me. We're going to flip to this side. We don't need to heal any. We're going to thwart for 2, get this gene pool back down. I think that's going to matter. We'll do the same with Lockjaw. We're just going to keep this thing under control since that's kind of the main mechanism. Bye-bye, Lockjaw. And then, what do we want to do here? So we have this concussive blast, but we are exhausted. So we're going to do side-by-side and supercharged. To play the rifle. And actually, you know what? We're going to do concussive blast instead. We're going to use the rifle to attack here and deal 0 damage, but we're going to get rid of our stunned. Then we're going to use a Danger Room training to play a Danger Room training here on Malcolm. And we're going to play Supercharged. So Supercharged is discard a resource card from your hand, place a charge counter for each resource on that card. When you make a basic attack, you can discard this for +2, and it's up to +8. So you can have up to 4. You can have as many charges as you want, but you only get +8, and you have to discard it. So that's how that's going to work. All right, and then Malcolm can punch for 3, but it's not super relevant right now. Is she going to be able to deal some damage? Not easily, huh? It's not your thing right now. Okay. So he will just thwart for 2 and bring this down. Put 1 on him. We're going to give the card draw over to Magik. She'll take the blood gem, flip the next one, which is Exorcism. Okay, so then Tempest is going to punch here. Since they're leaving based off of consequential damage, same with Lockjaw, we're good. So we take that off. We're going to play the blood gem. So the blood gem is, I can only play it if I'm a mystic. I can exhaust it and take 2 damage to generate a wild resource. So that's a big play. We have this Exorcism here. We also have this full body charge. All right, so we're going to use Clobber to play Limbo. Then we're going to use Limbo to swap full body charge to the top of our deck. And then we're going to use Strength and Exorcism, as well as our ability to play full body charge. So deal 8 damage to an enemy. If you're at less than half, it gains overkill. So we're going to deal 8 damage for 3 resources and bring them down to 6. So there's one of those swaps. So let me show that again. So I had this card here. I swapped it with this, so now it's on top of my deck. Now I can pay 3 resources instead of 4 to play it off the top of my deck. So now it's 3 for 8, which makes it a hero level card. I didn't use the blood gem, but I am going to use the blood gem to put down my sword, which gives me piercing with all my basic attacks, as well as +1 attack. I can see the top card of my deck is Wolverine, but then I'm going to flip down to be able to heal. So these 2 I'm just going to leave here, tucked a little bit to give me space, and away we go. Hey, there's our spiritual meditations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Between spiritual meditation and scrying and seeing the top card of your deck, her turns could take forever. All right, he's already through his deck. 1, 2, 3, get an encounter card, and shuffle. Would you say that Standard 3 assigned difficulty rating is between Standard 1 and 2 or higher? I think it's like really, really close to Standard 1. It basically makes it so you can't get Shadow of the Past on turn 1, essentially. In solo, you could. I guess in any player count, you could. But it makes it way less likely that you're going to get it turn 1 or even turn 2. It pushes it down the line, but it makes it definitive down the line. So if you played a bunch of games, you're like, I never get Shadow of the Past, this is going to make it harder, because you're going to get Shadow of the Past more. But if you play a bunch of games, you're like, all I do is get Shadow of the Past and lose, this is going to make it easier. So it's really based on how frustrating you find Shadow of the Past. This just changes the odds of those events happening. So I'd say it's pretty neutral. It's nowhere near Standard 2 in difficulty. So it's between, but barely. All right, why does Magik have a 5-card hand size? Seems pretty OP. Oh, why does she doesn't have a 5-card hand size? Oh, because she can play the one off the top of her deck? I mean, Doctor Strange is the same, so they've just made the Mystics that way. Yeah, no, she's definitely strong. But I mean, I'm at 2 health, so maybe that means something. But yeah, no, she's definitely powerful. You're definitely onto it. There, she's strong like the Mystics are strong, so they went for it. All right, 2 threat goes on here to go to 6. 1 goes on Gene Pool. We got him down to 6, so we're actually doing pretty well. We are getting attacked here. We're at 10, so we're going to take it. 10 plus, after this resolves, place a pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past. So that's one of the ways that you could get Shadow of the Past in the beginning, or Pursued by the Past is what I should say. All right, so we take 2 damage, go to 8. This is fiddly. And then discard 2, Beast and Advanced Suit, no good. Oh, that's the other part. You're discarding a bunch of cards, so anything you could play, like if you want to play, Call for Backup and stuff like that, could work out well. And then we'll just heal the 2 back. It didn't work out so well for us last time. So we've got 2 resources in our hand, and we'll just go back to 10. We'll be okay. All right, and then over here, he's going to scheme for 1. Plus 1 is 2, so this will go up to 8. And then we get encounter cards. We've got an extra one here. Good old Heroic. War Weary, so we'll be stunned again. And then Genetic Experiments attached to an infinite minion, otherwise this card gains Surge. Plus 2 hit points, and when they're defeated, put 2 threat on Gene Pool. That's a great card. I really like cards like that. That just fits right in with what's going on. Sinister Strike. So in hero form, place a pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past, then if it has any counters, the villain attacks you. So it's really just Assault that also adds a counter there. So that's where it can be a little bit harder, as you're not just straight getting Assault, you're also getting a timer towards Shadow of the Past, but you're not direct drawing Shadow of the Past. So I'm getting attacked again. This time it would have benefited me, but we'll take the damage. It's 4. Now, we just can't heal, but we can still do this ability. 1, 2, 3, 4. My goodness, so we got 2 more resources there. We got a lot of resources. And then her card is an Infinite Soldier. So if there were 3 on here, it would have Quick Strike, could also have Surge, and could also have 6 hit points, but it does have Guard. So we will pass this over to here. So I do have to be careful. I only have 3 resources, so I need to pay attention to what I do have. How do we want to do all this? First off, we want to heal. We want to get back to 5. So we're going to do that. For sure. Then we really don't have to worry too much. So we'll flip up and put a card on top. Threat, damage, it's all good. Yeah, we could put Magic Attack on top. Well, whatever I put on top is just going to get discarded. So we'll just put a basic spell on there. we're going to do this ability. So basic spell. We're going to go on a mission. 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 lightning, so we can't trigger. But we can trigger 2 of these otherwise. These 2 here. So we're going to deal 3 damage. That defeats Mr. Sinister, which removes him from this, and actually from the campaign we'll see at the end. Then we're going to clear threat. We never get to this other step where we have to place the counter, so we don't have to put the damage on them. Then, when this is defeated, shuffle each player card at the mission into its owner's deck. So that's why I'm tracking which side these came from. I'm also going to discard these cards. So Colossus gets shuffled into here. Randall and Cable get shuffled into here. These are going to go away. We have defeated this. Yeah, if you like the milling, then I think you'll definitely be interested in that. Yeah, it's funny. I think I do have all the spiritual meditations. They must. I didn't see another one. I wonder if I dropped one or it's still in the box. Now that you're saying that, oh, they're right there. So yeah, I have all 3 spiritual meditations, and Sorcerer Supreme is in my hand. So she's got all that stuff. All right, that got shuffled in. Colossus is shuffled in to 2 cards. We did this. We completed this. So now we flip this over. All right, after you flip to the side, remove each card in the mission area from the game. So had we not defeated it, all those cards would be removed from the game. If it was not defeated, then we find the North American seawall and we reveal it. If it was defeated, we find it and remove it from the game, and each player deals 3 damage to an enemy. So we're going to deal 3 damage to this soldier, and then Bishop is going to deal 3 damage here to Unus. And we're going to find our North American seawall and remove it from the game. So we don't have to deal with that mission anymore. And that is that. This is completed, and we'll track that at the end that we completed that one. All right, so that is missions. You've now seen a mission. You've seen how that works. You've seen what happens. There's random effects on the others. Well, they're not random, but once you know what they are. And you draw a random one each game. Did I say random enough? All right. Hey, Colossus is on top. Thanks, buddy. Brother. Okay, so now we have our blood gem. We have all these cards. So let's do spiritual meditation. We're going to draw 2. That's going to run us out. We're going to shuffle up, get an encounter card, and then discard. So you can see they both go through their decks pretty fast. And what do we have on top? It's a Magic Barrier. And we need to discard a card. Man, I'd love to get Wolverine out. Start punching. Triage isn't bad either to heals, but we'll get rid of Triage for now. All right, we could flip him to the next stage. We could get Wolverine out there to do the same if I can flip him over with something else. All right, let's scry. So scry is going to look at the top 3 cards of our deck, draw 1, discard 1, put 1 back on top. So 1, 2, 3. Hey, while we're looking at these, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to do that and know what the other card is. I don't see why not, but I could be wrong. So we're going to discard Magic Barrier. We're going to put Exorcism on top of our deck, and we're going to put the double resource in our hand. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use Limbo to swap Wolverine to the top of our deck. Now we're going to play Wolverine for 1 fewer, and sorry, brother, but Colossus is going to go to pay for Wolverine. And then we'll use our armor and our exorcism to put out Sorcerer Supreme. She can be our Doctor Strange. And go from there. Do we want Wolverine? Sure. We're going to have Wolverine flip him because let's get this going, right? So we're going to go to the next stage. So 3 damage. He's going to take 2 here. This is going to flip. He gets a toughness, and really he just has the same abilities, but now he has, oh gosh, I hope it's 15. That distance at that angle is tricky. Yep, so that's going to go there. Cool. All right, so we are set here. Sorry, long turns. I don't think you guys are actually that worried about it. We got Nick in the discard pile, but nobody else. That's another thing I think Call for Backup could be pretty good here. All right, so we got all this damage. Let's draw our card and see what we get. It's an energy conversion. No one cares. We're going to use... We're going to use the power and... no, we don't use any of that yet. How do we want to do this? Yeah, it'll be fine. We're going to use Bishop to unstun, or we're going to attack with Bishop to unstun. We're going to use power in all of us. No, we're not. We're going to use Danger Room Training. Yeah. We're going to use Danger Room Training and Energy Conversion to play Morrow. No, sorry, I'm switching back. We're going to use the power in all of us to play Morrow. Okay, after Morrow enters play, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So we're going to get rid of this tough status card. Then we are going to use the energy conversion to put the Danger Room Training on Wolverine. We're going to use strength to put endurance. We'll go here. And go to 9. Sorry, before I do that, I'd have this in my hand, so I should attack with the rifle for 3, bring him down to 27. And then we will have Malcolm punch for 3, 24. Take a damage. Morrow will punch for 2, 22. Take that damage. And then we're going to discard both of these for Supercharge. So they each have a lightning and a punch, so we're going to put 4 tokens on Supercharge. So we can punch for +8 next turn. I have a feeling somebody's going to die next turn. All right. Here we go. Adding 2 threat to the main. I didn't draw cards yet. Soul Strike. I can see the top card of my deck is this. We'll just keep it because it's damage. Hey, look, there's our full body charge again, too. I'm going to try this. It may fail miserably. I may draw the extra card. So keep me honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's Lockjaw. Good boy. Also have to make sure I don't play the Danger Room trainings on non-X-Men. That is something that I would do if I don't pay attention. So I'm saying it out loud so that when I cheat and do it, people go, "Ah, we caught you!" Oh, this also flips over, so this can let somebody draw a card from now on. All right, but it was exhausted, so it wasn't last turn. That goes to 10. This goes to 2, and away we go. Magik is getting attacked. I always just like to block. So he's hitting for 2. +1 is 3. We're going to take 1 to go to 4. Living on the edge. And then Bishop is going to get attacked for 2. +2 is 4. Go down to 5. Discard. 1, 2, 3. Can we do it? 4. Ah. It's kind of like the backflip thing, right? And then we have 4 here, so we're going to use the uniform and heal the 4 back up. Thanks for playing, Unus. It was a fun game. I had a good time. GG. All right. Worldwide Crisis. Either place 3 threat on the mission. Well, I can't do that. Or take a damage and surge. Prelate Armor attached to Unus. After he schemes, give him a tough status card. When you make a basic attack, you can get rid of it. Well, he's going to be dead. Infinite Soldier does not come in with Quick Strike, but does have the guard. And then Agent of Apocalypse. Either it goes to the mission area, it can't, or it activates against you. So it's going to attack me for 2. Guess what? 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, nothing. And at some point I'll have to show you, well, I'm just going to say it now while I see the card. So Energy Conversion says when an enemy attacks you, you can shuffle all your resource cards into your discard pile, and then you don't take more than 3 damage. So it's really nice. You can stand there and take the damage, and it's not a big deal. All right, both of these have guards, so we're going to have to deal with those. We've got a lot of cards over here. So we're going to draw, and see what we get. Suit up and side by side. Well, that's not super helpful. We need to deal some damage. So, I guess we're fine. Malcolm will punch here, get rid of this guy. Malcolm is out. Then Bishop is going to use the rifle to deal 4 damage. So that's going to bring him down to 18. Because I have 4 resource cards in my hand. Morrow will attack for 2, bring him down to 16. Then we're going to get a supercharged punch for 2, plus 8 is 10. So this gives plus 2 for each counter. So he's going to go down to 6. And then, don't have as much after that. We'll pay 1. 2, 3 with Lockjaw to play Randall. Where's Randall? Randall is an X-Men, so we will use this command authority to put training room on him. He'll deal 2. We will use this with a printed lightning resource to ready him. Have him heal, punch for 2 again. Down to 2. And then we're going to spend 4 with power in all of us and energy. Where's the good boy? I don't know if I hope that annoys people, but I kind of do. All right, and then he's going to punch for 2. And that's a dead Unus. Done. Got it done. The damage comes in time. We had full body charge to swap. So yeah, this is cool. Limbo can swap this on top to make it a 3 cost. So suddenly both these characters can really play high cost cards, which I enjoy doing because cards don't cost a lot unless they do something. I think people often think like, well, that card costs a lot, so it's not good. But I love high cost cards, so they both can play them very well. All right, that is a W. Infinite Soldier here. Get this cleaned up. I don't believe there's anything we have to track in terms of like what was in play. So that never happened. So you can see Shadow of the Past just never went off. It's probably not normal. It usually does. But that could be the, where that changes up. All right, what time are we at? Cool. We got time for one more. Okay. Four Horsemen. So, when we complete, strike the mission side scheme from the campaign log. If it was defeated, follow the defeated rules. If it was not defeated, follow those rules. And the Overseer minion. So these 2 will not be in play as well as I'm putting this. Now, what's important is Mr. Sinister can still be a Prelate minion when that becomes relevant. Okay? But these other ones are out. So we did sabotage the seawall. So because we did that, we would look here and we would say, oh, we defeated it. So we remove it from the campaign. Otherwise, it would stay in. We'd shuffle it in each time. And then we each choose a support from any aspect, and we can include it in our deck. Well, I just happen to have those here. So Bishop is going to take a med team and put it in his deck, and Magik is going to take a night nurse and put that in her deck. It doesn't count towards your total, so you are making your deck bigger. But I like having the high cost card in Bishop's deck. Easy for him to get out, and the night nurse is going to be super handy for getting rid of all those tough status cards and things. So that's how that works. And away we go, on to the next one. In Midnight Suns, Magik is awesome. Is that the video game, the card game video game? I haven't played it. All right, these guys just keep coming, says Domino, and then Deadpool says, guess that's why they call them infinites. And then all of a sudden we see and a blast into an infinite. Here's Magik and Bishop saying, everyone, rally on me. Magik, get us out of here. Welcome to the Resistance, X-Peeps. So this is Magik here and Bishop. Who are you? Where have you taken us, says Cable. And then Magneto says, we are the X-Men, and this is our home. Magneto, what happened to Professor X? And he's got Beast behind him. So the next one says, you mean my friend Charles Xavier? He died in Cairo years ago. And it looks like we have Phoenix and Professor X and Cable here, and he's thinking back on the past, and then he sees Apocalypse here. Soon after, Apocalypse attacked the United States and conquered all of North America. Charles always dreamed of peace between human and mutant. We X-Men fight Apocalypse in his name. And then here come the Four Horsemen. At last, we found the X-Men's headquarters. I don't actually know what... Oh, it says crash. Crash! Destroy them all! And so we got the 3 on horses, and we've got Death flying in. We got Cable, I think it's Psylocke, Deadpool, Magik, and... Oh no, I feel bad that I don't know who that is. Down there. All right, so Four Horsemen. X-Force is rescued from the endless ranks of infinites by the timely arrival of Magik and Bishop. Magik uses her power to teleport them out of danger and into the secret headquarters of the X-Men. There they learn how Apocalypse rose to power after the assassination of Professor X, and how Magneto leads the X-Men now in honor of his fallen friend. Magneto explains the long war of attrition they have been waging and losing to Apocalypse. and how the arrival of X-Force at this juncture could turn the tide in their favor. But before he can detail his plan, the walls of their headquarters are violently blown open. Apocalypse has located Magneto's secret headquarters and ordered his Four Horsemen to destroy the X-Men once and for all. So we're going to have multiple villains in this scenario. And there's something else we need. Which one is it? Standard set and Dystopian Nightmare. Okay. So let's sort all that out. We need this. Sorry, this part is so boring. I wish I could fast forward. I'm so jealous of people that film their plays and they can just get rid of this part. But you can ask me questions during this. It's Archangel, but I think he goes as Death here. Hey, happy Sunday. Hey, BGL. Eric, thanks for joining me. We're playing one more here. Then I'm going to go watch the Huskies play basketball because they may be the best team in the country, and it's unbelievable. So, all right, so we're going to remove these from play. Here, we're going to get the Four Horsemen out. I guess I better make sure that I have all of these. I know, whenever I do this, people are like, it's fine, we don't mind. We're happy you're playing. I always feel like it's so annoying. Thank you. Sorry. You're being very nice. All right. There's 7 there. There's 4 there. There's 2 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing something here. A war weary. All right. We need dials and smiles. So we played this one the other night. If you didn't get a chance to see it, no worries. But we shuffle these 4 up. Put them in order from left to right. And then they're each going to get a dial. So we're going to use all these handy Gamegenic dials, owned by the same company as Fantasy Flight. And shuffle all this in together. All right, this tells us about multiple villains. So our active villain is going to be here with War. War is going to get the red dial and have 18 hit points. Pestilence is going to have it's really blue, but we're going to call it green dial with 18 hit points. Famine is going to get the yellow dial with 18 hit points, and Death is going to get the black dial with 18 hit points. I will then replace mine with an X-Men and a regular. Oops. We're not going to talk about what just happened. All right, so this is going to be 12 health over here. And this is going to be 10 health over here. Okay. Active villain. So yeah, it moves around, then it says this one will wrap back to here. One thing that is important is it does say that you go to the, whenever you activate, it goes to the next one, which sounds obvious, but also if it's not that one activating, it moves to the next one. That's the best way I could say it. You may have to learn that in time. They have A and B sides on them. So for the setup, we're going to shuffle the Age of Apocalypse modular in. We're going to select a mission. We're going to select one of the available Overseer minions. So I think actually I set up this one first, right? So here is this one. I have all the correct one in. Active counter. Then we get a random side scheme. So we're going to get Ravages of War as well as Time of Famine. And these are going to go in. So we have an acceleration and a hazard. Each of these with 6 on them. This can go to 24, so no worries there. All right, that is the setup for that. I'm not going to miss the Yukon game. Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't have a lot of stun and confuse with these two. She's got all the stun. I don't think he has any, so I don't think there's much coming in that direction. But, you know, it's a reasonable amount of damage, hopefully. And fewer activations. All right, so these are all good here. That is set. Now we need a mission. Where am I even going to put all this? Man. Not these. Okay. So we're going to get a random one of these 3 remaining missions. And it's going to be evacuate survivors. So this one is going to require me to do what? Each player shuffles a copy of Panicked Refugees into their deck. All right, so we go find Panicked Refugees and shuffle that in. It must be these cards. Yep. And then we need an Overseer. We got this one here. I don't know where I'm going to fit all this stuff on the board. So now it's over here, just to confuse everyone who watched the last game. After this card enters your hand, reveal it, then draw a card. Exhaust your identity, remove this from the game, and alter ego. Ew. It's gross. All right. We have our Overseer, so this is Mikhail Rasputin. I'm just going to move the encounter deck here. I don't think you need to see it. She cannot take damage while there's another minion here. She has 10 health. After you discard cards, deal 1 damage to an ally at the mission for each energy resource that you discard. So any energy resources are going to happen. Oh, we played them all. I'm not doing a marathon where I don't do the thing I said I was going to do. I wasn't going to stop at 12 hours. Like, it was happening. That day was checked off for doing that. Same with Age of Apocalypse. People better come ready to beat the campaign. That's the goal. Okay. Whew, we've shuffled a lot. Here we go. So then we each pick an ally and put them in our hand. So I still like the allies that I picked last game, and I should have done that before I shuffled. Where's my brother? Oh, this should be on the other side. All right, this goes to 10. We'll have Bishop go first this time, just to change things up. All right, we really need to thwart, so we don't need all these damage cards. We don't need this. Unfortunately, we don't need this. Those would all be nice. I guess we could get damage on them quickly. But, yeah, none of that. We need to remove threat, which might not be what I'm going to draw with this. That could be on me. All right, then over here, Bishop will start this way. This is just to remind all of you that is the first player token. All right, do we want to start with him again? Could start with one that has a wild resource, but I think it's fine. Come out wherever you are, Cable. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's a lot of allies without ways. So he could let me go get a card for... This isn't going to get played easily. Sidekick would have to go on Malcolm, and I'd love to show that, but it's just not what I want to do when I'm trying to deal with those. Ew. So this comes into play, and then I draw another card. Man, no doubles. It's a tough day. All right, we are ready. So this is going to move along as they activate, and then each of them has an ability after they attack. They do their ability unless they're at 0 hit points. As long as they're at 1, they will do that ability. So we got to figure out what we want to do here. I think it's really Cable and the uniform. If I got Beast out, I'd get the double, so I could do Beast instead of the uniform, but the uniform seems an easier way to go. So Morrow and Suit Up are going to play Supercharged. Sorry, are going to play my uniform. I'm going to Exhaust to get rid of this card. Remove this card from the game. Amen. All right. And then I'm going to pay 2, and I'm going to put Cable at the mission, and I'm going to stay down turn 1. I'm going to Exhaust that for 2, and then pay 2 to put him at the mission. Well, is he the one that could stay up? What does she have? She can get Colossus out. Yeah, it's fine. He's going to stay down. All right. Over here, I can play Colossus and then put a card on top of my deck. I've just got nothing for removing threat, which is where I would like to be. So we'll pay the 3 to put Colossus out. Is this a spell? Yeah. Then we'll flip up. We'll put Scrying on top of our deck. We'll play Scrying from the top of the deck. 1, 2, 3. Man. We'll discard a Magic Barrier, take it into the fray, and put a Magic Barrier here. It's not good. Yeah, I guess I just clobber. So I'll clobber for 3, and I'll take down Eric's favorite, which is the one that makes you get rid of a card you control. And I gotta thwart this, so I'll get 1 off of this. All right, we'll hold Wolverine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top card is Soul Strike. Man, we got damage. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of resources, so we're okay there. Yeah, I haven't been playing a lot into this leadership. I think there's an interesting build here. It feels like a struggle with this. This feels like something you either have to commit to or decide not to do, and I figure it's something I want to show off, so. All right. 3 threat goes on the main because of this card. War is going to scheme over here. Off of this deck, sorry. For You Are Stunned. And 1. He does move because he activated. He doesn't do his ability because he didn't attack. So we put 1 more on the main. Then Pestilence is going to attack here. So Pestilence is attacking for 1. I'll just take it. Plus, after this activation, Death activates against you. So 1, I take 1, and then it blanks my text box, which means I no longer have this card on top, nor can I play it off of there. Moves here, then Death is going to activate, hit me for 2, and deal me another damage. 1, 2, and then deal all characters I control a damage. And since Death activated, it moves to Death. So that's where it's a little bit confusing, is the token is here, but Death activates, and then it moves there. So there you go. All right, Rough Riders. Resolve the force response on the active villain as if it had 1, then move it and do the same thing. So we're going to deal a damage to everything we control, go to 11, move it here, discard an upgrade or support I control. Couldn't avoid it, Eric. And there goes Bishop's uniform. So mission team comes over here. All right, we can get Gold Balls or Wolverine. Up there. Man, we just have no way to deal with threat, huh? I could also just play Wolverine down here to help me start... Oh, I got to get an extra card. Hold on. I didn't even resolve all the cards. His other card is Release the Hounds. That's going to come out with 5 on it. Hounds now have Surge. Do I also go get a Hound? No. I don't know where all the 5s are. Maybe out. All right, and then we got this card as well. Either place 3 threat on the mission or take a damage, and this gains Surge. So if I put 3 here, I'm currently dealing with 4. I think I better not Surge. So we'll do this. Now this passes over to her. This is my hand. All right, if I play Wolverine, I could start having him help me tick some of this threat off. Do I have any threat removal here? Very little. Ew. He can at least get rid of that. Yeah, let's try it. So we'll put Wolverine down, and then Wolverine and I will thwart for 2 off of here. He'll just take 1 and become a beat cop, basically. Does he have an ally to play up there? He doesn't. So I'll draw for that. I'll do the mission up here. And I drew the 2 I needed. And no lightning, so no worries there. So these 2 activate, they deal 5 damage, and they remove 4 threat. Then we place a counter here, and we damage each of them. Alright, so that was good. Bishop is going to flip up. He's going to use the double to play Command Authority to remove 3 threat from here. And since I used a resource card, I get to draw a card. Concussive Blast. Alright, these 2 are going to play Team Training. And Concussive Blast is going to play Endurance. Oh, she could flip down, right? Yeah. Yeah, we'll play it on him. I think it's better on him. He'll go to 14, and then he'll exhaust 2 to get rid of Ravages of War, so we don't have to deal with that. Alright, and this gives all my allies +1. There? Maybe. Don't actually know that interaction of that with that. Alright, 6. We drew Panicked Refugees. That's fine, because we're an alter ego. So we draw another card, right? It's not too bad. Alright, and then over here we get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's a Lockjaw. Those to play the rifle, that to bring Lockjaw out. We have Legion there. Okay, we got some plays. Alright, 2 threat goes on the main. Activates here and is scheming for 1, 2, 3. I don't think I used her ability. So 3 goes on here. This goes to 9. I have a 24. Pounds gain surge. And then attacking Bishop here for 1. Place a counter on Pursued by the Past. So that's going to hit me for 1. After the attack resolves, I lose my text box. Okay, so I do get to do it. 1, I don't get to heal any. It's just Nick Fury in there. And now I lose my text box. I don't have this ability anymore. But we only have 2 cards. That's a little bit better. Dark Child. Oh, so I have to exhaust, which means I have to keep this in the game, right? Or deal a damage to each character I control. So we'll remove this, and we'll deal with it later. Alright, and Fear the Future. Flip. Exhaust, remove from the game. Otherwise, each resource card from my hand. Yeah, no thank you. Alright, so these are gone, so we don't have to deal with those anymore, at least. Alright, this passes to here. Does that make my turn look any different? I don't really need the rifle. Oh, when I flip down, I get a temporal card. So I'm going to take my uniform back. And that could change some math. Yeah. Alright, so my rifle and Lockjaw are going to pay for my uniform. I'm going to flip up. Then I'm going to spend 4 to bring Lockjaw back from the discard pile. I'll hold Legion. Do you have an ally? You do. Lockjaw will thwart for 2. On this, release the Hounds. Bring it down to 1. After this activated, it should have moved. Yeah, I agree. That was a fun part of the day for sure. John, sorry. Was that, they figured out how to make all these heroes that do different things. I drew my hand, so that +1 should have been there, so that should be a 10, right? No uniform, this. If I do that and hit it, she's gone. But if I draw lightnings, I lose out there, huh? All right, I'll make the next one 2 cheaper. We'll go a little easier on ourselves. All right, so we're going to play this one there. He's going to heal. He's going to remove the 1 threat from Release the Hounds. When it's defeated, deal a hound to myself as a face-down encounter card. That's fine, bub. All right, that's there. I have a damage. I'll play this. I'll use Exorcism to play Night Nurse. I will flip up. Put Exorcism on top. Get my counters for this. I'll play Exorcism with the Stepping Disc, so it only costs 1. Remove 4 threat. There or there. We'll move the 4 here. Try to get rid of this one. Oh, when I defeated this one, should I have done something? Discard an upgrade or support I control. I didn't have any at the time because these weren't there, right? So I'm good. All right, and then the top card of my deck is that, so I can confuse the villain. So there's some confuse. That one's going to activate, that one's going to activate. We'll try to confuse Pestilence here. All right, we played off the top. I don't want to use this for this, so we're done. Ready, 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 ready. Five, got 2 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that crown could help me to do some of this threat removal. Once I get this threat under control, the damage is going to be easy with these. What did I get that card from? Something. Oh, that's the Hound. Okay. All right. Bonus here, so that's going to be 4. So this is going to go to 14 out of 24. That's a little tricky. We're going to get there. Did I get a card that was supposed to put a thing on Pursued by the Past? I'm pretty sure that one was supposed to put one here that I missed. Okay. What do we got for comments going on here? Yeah, without the uniqueness, I wouldn't be playing this game. Like, that's that's my favorite thing, so I totally agree. All right, Famine is attacking me. I now have my ability back again until the next villain phase begins. Then I'm going to have to discard 10. All right, so I'm getting attacked for 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Discard 1, 2, 3. Hit 1. And I'll heal, oh yeah, and I'll heal back up. 1, 2, 3. All right, then this moves and I have to mill 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rude. Ugh, heroic. All right, then Death is going to attack here, and I'm going to defend. Hits me for 2, 3. This is going to move so I don't forget. So I take 1, and then all characters I control take 1. 1 on Wolverine. All right, and then we go here and here. Ahab. Ahab has toughness, and if Release the Hounds is in play, place 3 threat on it, otherwise reveal it. Ugh. That's not good. Whew, we are getting inundated here. Agent of Apocalypse. All right, so that can come out in front of me, attack me for 2, discard 2, nothing there. Then I get a Hound. If I'm in hero form, it attacks me for 2. And then gain Surge, which is going to be Plague and Pestilence. Whew. Make my die box, and then Hunt it. Oh my gosh. I can't do all those things. I should have kept the other one. The Stepping Disc was smarter, or I shouldn't have exhausted. All right, this passes over here. We can't get that completed, can we? No, because it's 9, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oy. Okay. Top card is revealed. Oh my gosh. That could be big. Do we just play that right off the rip? Yep. All right, so we're going to do this. Flip it here. Put Exorcism on top. Ready. Then I'll play Spiritual Meditation to draw Exorcism and another card. I'm going to get rid of Stepford Cuckoos. Top card is a Lightning. Okay. So I could play the Crown, but I don't care about that. Pay the 2 for the basic spell. Oof, there's so many things. All right, I will punch out this Hound so it's gone. He heals 1. He's going to deal 3 here to Ahab. Actually, I'm not going to punch out the Hound then. I'm going to punch out Ahab instead. He takes 2. Then I'll use my double to play Exorcism. Remove 4 threat. I gotta go here. And then my basic spell could get rid of that. He can thwart there. The stepping disc. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. Okay, the Crown will play stepping disc to ready me, and then put something on top. I'll put the Exorcism back on top. Flip. Oh my gosh. Discard to get rid of Hunted. Exhaust to get rid of Panic Refugees. Whew. Oh, sorry. And I'm going to flip here to heal him 1 and get rid of his stunned. Oh my gosh, what a mess. All right. What do we want to do now? And then are we going to do this? With this on top? Yep. Oh no. What does she do? She deals the damage to somebody there. So it could be triage. Yep. Okay. So then we'll do this. 1, 2, 3. Do the mission. We got 2 lightnings and that. So she's going to deal 2 damage. So 1, 2. We're going to trigger all of them. So that's going to deal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's done. And then it's going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threat. And then they all take a damage. So only Cable is left. And these are gone. So we just got to get somebody else there. Whew. All right, it's getting messy. Where are we at now? That could thwart for 1. We could get through it. He's going to thwart for 2 here. Get rid of this. We lose everything but our traits. Same as what's there. That's fine. Lockjaw can punch one of these 2 out. I also have Legion. So yeah, we'll spend power in all of us and energy conversion to play Legion. Legion will punch for 1 here, and then he flips like Hulk. And if that card's printed resource has, so it has a punch, so it heals 2 from him. That's not great. All right, what do we want to deal with the least? Discard 10. Oh, can I not play this med team unless I flip down, right? If I flip down, we might lose to that. Yeah, I can take 2 damage. So we're going to remove 2 threat from here and discard 10 off the top of our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's where digging deep would have been useful, but it's a lot of resource cards at that point. And he's not defeated because I have +1 hit point. Oh, I don't know if that would have applied here, because then I could have put the damage on Cable and been okay, but let's play it that it doesn't. This is a bit of a mess. All right. See what happens. May not dig out of this. Close. But some bad luck here could be bad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we are adding just 2 threat. So that's going to go to 16 out of 24. Schemes here for 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that didn't want to be in my favor. So this goes to 20. Yikes. And then, in fact, it goes to 21 with the Hound. It goes here. Pestilence is going to attack me. Blank my traits. Deal 1 damage to an ally at the mission. Ugh. Okay, and another boost card. So it's going to hit me for 3. 1, 2, 3. Still have my ability. 1, 2, 3. 0. Heal 2 before I lose it. And then this attacks me for 2, and I don't have my ability anymore. Oof. All right, no scheming, no scheming. Drawing nearer. So after your turn begins, discard the top card of your deck. Place a pursuit counter on pursued by the past for each printed resource icon. I can discard an identity-specific card to discard this card. And Horsemen of Famine. This should have gone here. So heal 2 damage from Famine and give her a tough status card. So heal 2, and then she activates. So she's going to hit me for 1, and then place a counter here. I take 1, and then what does she do? Discard the top 10. Whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I got 1 left. Okay. Can we get out of this mess? We could try. Okay. Med team. Morrow. That is going to have to wait. Wait a minute. Okay, Morrow is the most important thing here, right? These 2. So these 2 will play Morrow. When Morrow comes in, deal 2 damage to an enemy. This is gone. All right, what's happening here? Oh, we're on something totally different. Thanks, Steve, for the extra card. Okay. So now we can thwart a bunch. So let's thwart 1 off the main. Bring this back down to 20. And then use the ability here. Discard. It's a mental, so mental removes 2 threat from a scheme. Okay. So 2 threat will come off of this one. Bishop will thwart this for 2, bring it down to 1. Morrow's going to punch here, get rid of this. Lockjaw's going to go away and take 2 threat off the main. Whew, we're getting down there. Then I can't even flip down. I don't have a temporal card. Ugh. He should take 1. Does she have? She has Tempest. All right, he can stay up. That's fine. All right. So you can't see that card. He heals 1. Then he's going to thwart this to go away and then go get a Hound. After your turn begins, discard the top card. So we're going to place a pursuit counter here. Discard an identity-specific card. So let's play Spiritual Meditation and see what we get. We're going to take... Do we take both of these? Get rid of Clobber, but this should have shuffled. Whew, we just keep digging holes, man. It's a lot of digging right now. Heal for 3. Go to 6. Flip. Can we do something first? No, we want the exorcism. Tempest. Could put Tempest there, but we're just going to have to waste that, huh? Ugh, it's gross. All right, we'll just flip and see what we get. It's a Soul Strike. We'll do the exorcism. So we remove 4 threat from a scheme, bring this down, confuse a villain. So we'll just confuse Famine. Wow, do I want Tempest? Oh, sorry. I was going to discard my sword to get rid of this. Tempest or Sorcerer Supreme? I guess Sorcerer Supreme is better in the long run. We could block with one of these. Ooh! And then we could pay this to do Soul Strike, but I don't think I care. We're going to block anyway. So let's Soul Strike for 4. On Death. Nope, on War. So we'll deal 4, bring him down to 11. And the top card is not Punch, so we don't stun. Okay, that's a thing. Night Nurse will heal me up to 5. Yeah, Med Team is stuck. Okay, there's Cable back again. I didn't even do this. I played that one and got another one. 6. Okay. Whew. We're going to get this. All right, this is going to go to 16. This is definitely the longest of the fights. That was annoying to miss on that. We're getting attacked here for 2. We're going to lose Morrow after that, huh? And my text box is no longer blanked. That was my plan. I'm going to have to block with Legion or myself. It's not good, kids. It's not good. Yeah, I'll just take the damage. So he's going to hit me for 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll discard. 1, 2, 3. Get 1 in my hand. And I'm going to heal for 2 to go to 8. And then everything takes 1 damage. Ugh. Just nothing's going my way. One of those games. I feel like Brian. All right. This moves War for 2. After this, War activates against you. All right, so 2. I only take the 2. Then I have to discard an upgrade. This goes here. Then Death activates, hits me for 2, and deals a damage to everything. And that takes out Wolverine. Man. And then cards. Woof. Heal 2 damage from Pestilence. Get a tough status card. Then it activates against you. So it attacks me for 1. Place 1 threat on the mission and get another boost. This goes to 5. And I get a Hound. It immediately attacks me. So that... What the heck just attacked me? Pestilence just attacked me, right? For 1, 2... No, this card is not this. This is just a boost, right? Then Pestilence makes me discard the top 10. No, it loses my traits. So hit me for 2. 1, 2, nothing. And then this moves. A Hound will immediately attack me. Legion blocks. Dies. Rough Riders. So we have to resolve these 2. So I take a damage, move it here, and then I discard an upgrade or support I control. Man, And then the wings goes on death. Wow. I don't think I can do this. I just got hammered. All right, gold balls. I've got to ready. I've got to get rid of this threat and use those confuses, huh? Okay. I have the double in my hand. So 2 to play gold balls. Gold balls comes into play. What's on top? Then we'll draw Exorcism and another card. We're going to discard the Stepford Cuckoos. It's just too much to set up right now. There's the double. I could get another Confuse going, so let's do that. So Soul Strike and Blood Rage are going to play Exorcism, which will remove 4 threat, and Confuse here. Leave the double. I'll use Stepping Disc to play Stepping Disc, and then I'll put an Exorcism on top. Ready. Gold Balls is going to attack the Hound and discard 1 card. So Gold Balls is a 1/1 that when you attack, you can discard up to 3 cards off of your deck. Feels very much like a card that would be with Doctor Strange, and deal an additional damage for each one. So we'll take that out. Then we'll flip and heal and go to 4. Ooh! It's a mess. All right, Bishop. 2 fewer, plus the double. We'll put Cable back up here. Then we are going to... It's not terrible. We're going to play the double and lead from the front to put the Med Team out finally. And then we're going to use Med Team to heal 2 here. We are going to exhaust and remove 2 threat. Bring this down to 10. Flip down. And we have nothing to put in our hand. It's just every time. Okay, and we're set. That is like a full reset, man. They just dismantled me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to come back. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be an epic victory. All right, so 2 to go to 12. Confused. Confused, I lied. Confused, and then this one will scheme, because it doesn't move, for 1 plus another one on here. That shadow's just not what we need. That goes there. Then we each get a card. This one will be a horse. This one goes on the lowest health. So they basically don't count as dead. You can activate their ability when you attack them to get rid of those. And then this one is going to activate this one to make me lose my traits, my text box. Don't have that. And then this one is going to activate and make me discard 10 cards. Because why not? Yeah, Digging Deep definitely seems like it would be good in White Fox just to get them moving here. All right. Then we didn't get encounter cards. We did, right? Was that just 1 encounter card I dealt to myself? I'm so confused. Where is the other encounter card? Did I forget a second one? Is it under my hand? What did I just do wrong? 1 didn't activate. The other did. Oh, the other one was the horse. Okay, I did do it. Perfect. All right, let's take a quick pause to use the restroom. All right. Sorry, buddy. My wife came home as well. I know. I'll change the thing. I see everybody commenting that Nick is not here. But, yeah. All right. I can't complete that yet. Got threat removal back on the menu. Okay. I think I've got actual possible plans. I have no text box. When I cheat, remind me of that. Okay. We're going to heal 4. We're going to flip up. We are going to command authority. Remove 3 threat. Let's start getting this game back under control. Draw a card. Ooh, it's a double resource. We are going to exhaust mission team and use suit up to play Malcolm here. Then we're going to spend these 3 to deal 6 damage and ready. So we are going to deal 6 damage here. And this is when you make a basic attack. After you attack attached villain. Perfect. And we're going to discard this by losing an upgrade or support. So we're going to lose team training. Then we're going to thwart for 2 to bring this down to 7. Good, good. All right, that turn looked good. Then we are going to I don't want to play all these. We don't need Clobber. Yeah, we're going to use the double to play the crown. We're gonna heal. Go to 9. We're gonna flip up. We're gonna put exorcism back on top. We're gonna use Clobber to play limbo. Then we're going to use limbo to swap triage to the top of the deck. And then we're going to play triage from the top of the deck using stepping disc. We're going to hold this. When she enters play, she's going to heal 2 damage from an X-Men character. So we're going to heal 2 on Bishop. Then she is going to thwart for 1. Gold balls is... Oh, actually, she's not going to thwart for 1. She's going to pop one of these toughs. And then gold balls is going to attack here. 1, 2, 3. And med team is going to heal gold balls for 2. 2, 3, 4. So down to 1, which isn't quite close enough, but we're getting there. Okay, starting to feel better. Hopefully they don't tear me apart now. Whew. They just like ripped every card I had out of my hand, out of my play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's some resources. Man, not getting that mechanic going with sidekick. That's one of the tricky parts. Okay, they are going to add 2 threat here. Attack me and discard 10. So here for 1, 2. 1, 2. Then I could choose to trigger my ability. Sure. 1, 2. I get 0, but then I heal for 3. I'm not sure this was the right play. Get a card, and then I have to discard 10. Wonder if I should have just let them discard the few and not heal, but c'est la vie. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, at least there's some temporal cards to grab now. Always look on the bright side. All right, death. Triage is going to block. 3, 4, 5. Then everybody takes a damage. We're good, yep. And this moves here. All right, place a pursuit counter. So that is going to trigger this. So this will flip over, and it basically just tells me to put the cards into play. So we're going to put Trevor Fitzroy into play, Portal Through Time into play, and then these get shuffled. First, there'll be a quick strike here, so 1, 2, 3. We'll put 1 in my hand. This is going to come in with 4 on it, and these 3 get shuffled in. Next card is a Hound, which will attack me for 2. 1, 2, discard 2, nothing. All right, and then she is going to get targeted for extermination. More threat. All right, currently here, we could do this twice and complete it, or we could try to get somebody else there. I could have played Colossus. Could still just play Colossus to there. Oh, I also had this I could have used. Oh, well. So we will play Spiritual Meditation, draw 2. This is going to take a while. We'll discard Magic Barrier. Full body charge. It's not going to get us there. So we'll play Spiritual Meditation to draw 2. Discard the Magic Barrier into the fray. Could be beautiful. But we also need to do these, huh? We could play Colossus to here and then clear this out in one play. And get rid of the threat and figure out how to take care of them. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so we'll use this plus Danger Room Training, to play Colossus up here. I think this then gets flipped back over. You guys are off to the races there, which is great. And then, I don't even think I need the scrying, right? Oh, the scrying will let me do 1, 2, 3. Discard into the fray. Put the magic attack on top. And then these 2 will play Exorcism to remove 4 threat. So we'll get rid of this. Portal Through Time for now. What does he have? We got a Lockjaw. Ew. Nothing, man. So he can remove 2. He could... What am I going to do? Definitely flip. Just flip and not deal with that. He's got nothing. Ugh, it's gross. All right. Show punch for 2 here, and then gold balls can punch and discard 2, 1, 2 to deal 3 damage, and we'll take out him. I'll flip down. He's got a gross turn. So side by side, we'll play combat training on gold balls. I will punch for 2 to take out the Hound. And flip. When I flip, do I have a gun? Yeah. So then I'll use these 2 doubles to put the gun out and hold these. All right, so next turn we could do this. Maybe start to make headway. Lots of doubles. But we get another encounter card. Whew, this is a long scenario. I think any way you slice it, man. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't look great. Gonna have to get rid of that. All right, 2 threat on here. We were so close to coming back. Then that Shadow of the Past chaos and his bad draw. All right, schemes here for 1, 2, 3. Moves, confused. Cards, 1, 2. Bantam, find portal through time and reveal it. It's just rude. Okay. Temporal Trickery. Discard a card in your hand with the most printed resource icons. Place 1 threat on each scheme for each resource on that. Place 1 scheme on each. Place 1 threat on each scheme. Ugh. They're really kicking me while I'm down here. All right, and then War Weary, you're stunned. Hey, I can get rid of stunned. Pass over here. Let's try to complete the mission, shall we? All right, mission 1, 2, 3. Mental, and these are both wilds. Everybody triggers 2, 3, 4, 5. We complete this. Okay. Shuffle back in, shuffle back in. Hey, forward progress is always good. So when we complete this, if the mission was defeated, each player searches their deck and discard pile for 1 card and adds it to their hand. Okay. Sorcerer Supreme, Wolverine. What do I want? Maybe I want to just stun one of them at this point. I gotta get rid of all this threat. Exorcism. Over here, I have Nick. What do I have over here? Maybe just a command authority. Would be good. Okay. Perfect. So that is completed. We're good. Hey. Then we will flip up. Night Nurse will heal us and remove our stunned. Goes away. Gold Ball's got that. Actually, our gun takes out Bantam because we have 1, 2, 3 resources in hand. Then we will command authority to draw a card, remove 3 threat from this. Bring it down to 2. We draw Cable. So we'll play 4 for Nick Fury. 1, 2, 3. Draw. Nick can remove 2 threat, get rid of Portal of Time. Then I see Malcolm here for damage. Or Beast. Beast into team training is the other play. Sure. So we'll go Beast into a double resource. Double resource for team training. And then Beast can thwart 2. I'll thwart 2. And I am confused. Done. All right. Let's go. I'm getting annoyed. Spiritual Meditation will draw us 2. What do we got? Stepping Disc and a basic spell. I'm not too worried about the Stepping Disc for now. Actually, I'm not too worried about Into the Fray for now. All right, so I don't have an extra card. Shouldn't I have 7 because I drew 1? I don't know. Flip up, put Spiritual Meditation on top. And then I will cast, I'll use a basic spell and a, oh no, I played Spiritual Meditation, never mind. So I'll use Clobber and Stepping Disc to play Exorcism, remove 4 threat, and Confuse. I will then punch here for 2. I will limbo to put the basic spell on top. I'll use Stepping Disc to play basic spell to remove 3 threat. Flip. I'll use Spiritual Meditation to draw 2. Discard the Magic Barrier, and then I'll play basic spell, put Magic Barrier back on top. Ready. Punch for 2. I'll just take this out so it's done. Gold balls will hit here for 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 5. Bring that down to 11. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip the top one. Ready, 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 ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we only got 1 to take damage with, though. It's okay. Okay. Now we add 2 threat to go to 10. This is going to attack us and blank our text box. I've got Nick, but I'll have Nick block here. So I take 3, discard 1, and then heal 2. Take 3, heal 2, go back to 10. This has to get shuffled, and then I get an encounter card. Woo! Wow, this is so long. My wife came home. She's like, "Are you done?" No. Okay, nickel block over here. Nick is out. Discard the top 10 from my deck. 3, 6, 9, 10. Puts Lockjaw back in the bin. All right, here, Dark Design. Add 1, and then Scheme. Add 1, Scheme. Confused. Nope, because that should have moved. Scheme for 2, and then Death activates against you. Ugh. So Death here is going to attack, and it's fine. For 3, 4, 5, can't trigger any abilities. I take 1, and Beast takes 1. Next is a Hound. Hits me for 2. Temporal Trickery. Discard a card. We'll get rid of the full body charge for now, I guess. And then add a threat to the Scheme. All right, this passes over here. I can now draw cards. All right. Spiritual Meditation will draw 2. I could put Danger Room Training on him. So I'll get rid of my sword. I'll then play Limbo to switch and put Exorcism on top. Or maybe Danger Room Training. No. Yeah, I'll just put the Exorcism there. I'll spend 1, 2, 3 to do Into the Fray. Hit this. Remove 4 threat from the main. Magik will punch here for 2. Gold balls will hit this. Oh, wait, hold on. We're going to cast Exorcism first to remove 4 threat. And not confuse. And then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, actually, I think I'll heal gold balls first. So then he'll deal 5 and bring this down to 4. Mission team will let Bishop draw a card. And did Magik flip up this turn? No, so we'll flip down. Okay. We will do 2 damage here. We'll then punch this for 2. So that's half of them dead. We'll then spend 3. We're not going to spend power on all of us. To do Concussive Blast, ready, and deal 6. So here, does he have Retaliate with this? Yeah. We take 1. Yikes. Then we'll play the Supercharge. We'll put the Danger Room training on Beast. Beast will remove 3 threat. I guess I'm playing it too safe now. I will flip, and I will heal for 4, and put a temporal card in my hand. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 2 threat. Nope, it should be 3 because we should have an acceleration from that deck going through. I hope I'm on the right one. I think so. 3. Death activated. Then I think it should be here, actually. I think I was wrong. So I think this is confused. And then it's going to scheme for 4. I don't think I have to worry about threat as much anymore. That's going to move there. And then 2 cards. You are stunned. And resolve these effects. Discard 10. Whew, 1 left. And this moves here. I take a damage. Beast is dead. Oh no, Beast is not dead because I have this. Alright, this passes over to here. I'm going to heal for 4 to go to 8. Flip up. Alright, let's make Malcolm a sidekick. Everybody wants to see that. Alright, so we'll deal 1 damage here to get rid of the tough. Oh, I should have done his thing. We'll med team here. And that's gone. We'll spend 3 to put Malcolm out. And then we'll use Cable to give him sidekick. So he has +2 health and is now my sidekick. Okay. Then he will punch. Doesn't get plus anything. He'll punch for 2. 18. And Beast will thwart for 3 to keep this under control. And I'll hold Legion. Gonna let you draw a card over here. Okay. We will flip and put Soul Strike on top. We're going to exhaust to get rid of the stun. We're going to use a double to play Clobber, deal 3 damage, put it back in our hand. Was that 16? I think so. Then we'll use the Clobber to play the Soul Strike for 4. Not stun. Bring this down to 9. Limbo. Did we play the top card off the deck? We played the Soul Strike off the top of the deck, right? Yeah. Alright. We'll use Limbo to switch the Genius with the test defense. The 2 doubles are going to play Wolverine. And then I'm going to play Magic Attack. So Magic Attack is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll deal 5 damage to bring him down to 4. And then Gold Balls will punch for 2, 3, 4, and defeat this one. Look at this. And Wolverine will hit here for 3, bring him down to 9. And he takes an extra from Retaliate, which I'm going to have to get rid of next turn. Okay, Gold Balls goes to 3. We are close. One, two, three, four, 5. Oh, this should be it. Okay, we have to get rid of that, so we have to attack him and then take a damage on each of our characters, but I'll just do that in the final round. Ready, 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 ready. 1. Oh, we also get a card here. We're going to get like Shadow of the Past and all sorts of junk. 1, 2, 3. All right. Double resources galore. Sounds good. Okay. 3 threat on here. He's going to attack here first. I'll take it. 3. Give him another boost. Place 1 threat. Yeah. 6. Yikes. Go to 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hit 2. And then I'll heal 5 from this to go back to 7. That is beautiful. Not the gun, the suit. 5, yep. Then he deals 1 damage to all characters I control. Beast is not dead. Malcolm is not dead. I am not dead. This moves here. He's going to attack for 2. We're just going to take it. That deck should be... Oh, no. That's a top card. So 4. I go to 4. This is at 0, so that ability doesn't happen. This moves on, so I don't have to worry about that. And then just got to deal with these cards. Come on, life. Portal through time is fine. Ahab's Energy Spear. Attached to the villain. Gains Overkill and Piercing. We're going to attach it here. Oh, wait. Active. So it would go here because it's an encounter card. Overkill and Piercing. War Weary, you're stunned. And Nowhere is safe. Place a pursuit counter and then discard an upgrade or support you control. That's fine. I'll lose the crown. Whew, we did it. Okay. Heal 1 from Wolverine. He's got 9 health. That has 4 threat on it, just to be clear. Wolverine attacks for 3 and dies. Gold Balls attacks for 5. 1, 2, 3. And dies. That brings him down to 1. I'll exhaust to get rid of my stunned. Then I will play a magic attack to deal 1 to him. And when I deal 1, I will take a retaliate and then suffer his effects, which is 1 damage to each character. That's gone, and they're all at 0s. Woo! Okay. Woo! That's a heck of a fight, man. That was just standard. Whew. What's going to happen when we get that on expert? All right, that is completed. So we need to see what happens now. And that is going to be where I stop, in case people were unaware. Okay. So we did which one? Evacuate survivors. Defeated. Remove each copy of Panic Refugees. Each player chooses an upgrade from any aspect. They may include 1 copy of that card in their deck for the rest of the campaign. So, I've got 2 here. I've got Mission Leader, and I've got Skilled Investigator. So, I'm going to give Mission Leader to him, and Skilled Investigator to her. I think I was actually going to do 2 Skilled Investigators. So, I may actually swap this out for a Skilled Investigator. I think I did this last time, and they're out of aspect, so he could technically take this anyway. But I thought he was a soldier, and he's not. So, that's going to be a Skilled Investigator, I believe, once I actually go and do that. All right, had we not, then for the rest of the campaign, we'd have to have that Panicked Refugees in our deck. Okay, let's see what else we have to do. Strike the mission, do the defeated, get rid of the Overseer. Nope, this one. Wait, yes, okay. And then we'll be on to the comic for the next one, I guess. We're going to have to go to Apocalypse Citadel for the next one. Cool. So far, so good, everybody. What's happening in chat? One more game. Oh, I would love to, but I definitely need to stop now. My daughter needs to be picked up and dinner and all those kind of things. So But I see a lot in chat about all sorts of things. Thank you. Yeah, it was that. That's going to be one of the longer fights. So I'm intrigued to see how people feel about that one. It's just a lot of you're dug in a hole and you're not. It's just all this that's trying to shut you down from building. So events and straight damage would do better there. If you could, because you could probably get through the threat. But it's a lot of damage. It's 36 damage, so that's a decent amount to have to do, specifically spread in certain spots. So that's going to be the tricky part. But yeah, all this stuff just builds up, pursued by the past, and all he's saying, they're all building, and you just have to have a lot. And I didn't have a ton of threat removal in the beginning. All of it was kind of gone, so that's what you need to do. But there you go. That's kind of what happens with the campaigns and the side missions, which to me is kind of the key part to see, and then see how you keep adding to your deck, which I think is neat. It's like, oh, get rid of these bad cards and add more good cards to your deck. And I don't mind, adding a couple to go above. It can get a little bit full if you go too far, but right now it's +2 cards in there, so it's not too bad. And you get to pull a card at the beginning, so it doesn't make it so bad for what you're looking for. So awesome. She would understand. No, they're exhausted. We haven't been busy all weekend. Yeah, my daughter was in 4 shows of Wizard of Oz. Now she's doing the strike and the cast party stuff, so I've got to go get her and whatnot. So yeah, but she's good. She did get mildly injured. They actually ride around in scooters in the show, and her finger got run over. She had to go to the ER. It didn't break, so that was good. She's a tough cookie. And then she went back to do another show, so pretty impressive. Hey, you can actually see my camera? No, it's something else. I don't know what's right there. I guess it's just this part of the shelf, huh? Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Yeah, I think Rush would work pretty well against the Horsemen. They don't have a lot of health. 9 per player isn't that high, so... I guess it becomes 36, so that's a decent amount, but I think you could definitely do it. And if you're shutting some of their abilities down, I think it'd be pretty good. Oh, I was like, oh no, this one had an attachment, but it was a spear, so... There we go. Next time we'll do Apocalypse and Dark Beast, and if we can finish it up with the final battle, we will. So thanks, everybody. I don't know when that will be. There's a possibility it's just tomorrow night is my plan to finish it up. So that would be my tentative timing right now. If it's not then, it would be Wednesday morning. Welcome to my life. So, yeah, Tuesday all day would be out, and Wednesday evening would be out. So tomorrow morning's out. So it would be either tomorrow night or Wednesday morning, and I'm sorry that I can't give you more definitive. We'll have to see. The reason it wouldn't be Wednesday morning, if I end up playing Star Wars with Nelson that morning, that would change that. So we'll have to see. So there you go. That gives you a taste of the campaign. That gives you a taste of Bishop and Magik. Very, very thinky. Very, very strong with him. You definitely want to get those things. I think there's some key cards that really... I feel like Lockjaw does a lot better, so... I think his deck build, but I do agree with people who are saying protection would be good. Honestly, I think he could just work all around. He's just very efficient in what he's doing with his cards. She's probably similar, although I'm sure, like the other Mystics, there's just a build that's going to make her amazing. So that's part of what you're looking for. So aggression works. Ooh, I got all these in here. Hopefully I didn't mix that up. Okay, awesome. So that is it for me for now. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This is going to be the Nick splash screen again. So Nick and I thank you so much for watching. I'm the Brant. Until next time, I hope you step into the portal. Have a good night.